How are you?
Good.
All is good?
All is good.
Ali, one of the main reasons I really wanted to sit and talk to you is that when we joined the Kuwait Watch Club, I met you, I think, in Bulgaria, right? No,
We went for the first time in Bulgaria.
The event for Bulgaria.
Yes.
And I was, to be honest, happy to see a non-Kuwaiti in a Kuwait Watch Club. Yeah. Because lots of clubs that goes around in the GCC, people complain, and the first thing they ask is like, okay, is it only Kuwaiti? It's not Kuwaiti. Yes. And we're happy to have an Indian with us.
Thank you so much.
Honestly, but before we talk about watches, collecting, club, and what brought you to Kuwait? Let's have a brief history of.
We've been there in Kuwait since a very long time, and my father was there since before Gulf War.
Mm-hmm. So that's 30 years?
That's 30
more,
years,
yeah.
more than 30, 35 years. And we're into the business together.
Mm.
And the journey started with me for watches during my school days.
Yeah.
And slowly, it's been there since school. Then I went to college, and then it's starting one after the other. It was like a boy's dream who saw a dream for watches. And I used to go to a lot of boutiques, a lot of even I used to go to the grey market.
But that comes later on. No, but
yeah.
What age did you come to Kuwait?
I came during I was 2 years old.
2 years old, mashallah.
Yeah,
mashallah. And your dad moved here, right?
And my dad moved here. It was before us. He was here. We came later.
What did you guys do? Like, what are you guys? Because from what I know, you guys are a bit famous in this community.
We're into business. We're into business. We have a business for retail, wholesale, and even we have a wholesale business for clothing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nice.
So we've been doing this. My father's been doing this all his life.
That's one of the reasons that you got into watches, because a lot of things, or lots of, like, we had a couple of conversations, to be honest. Yes. So we met in Bulgaria, and I think after that we met 4 or 5 times.
We did meet in IWC also.
IWC, and you came here once, you came here twice, and we had another thing.
Yes.
One of the things that I really liked and enjoyed, like, you said, what age you start liking watches? Let's go back.
I started owning watches probably after my university. And then my first watch was an Omega Seamaster.
Okay.
I bought in those days. We had those James Bond movies, and there was a different, an obsession for Omega. You see Pierce Brosnan on TV, and you see those watch ads, and it was like a fancy watch to own. And that's the first watch I bought. That was from Avenues. Those days the watches were for retail 400. And
what year? What do you remember the year?
It was 2000, I think 13, probably 13 or 14.
MashaAllah. You still remember, right? Yes. You still have the watch, of course, or no?
I do have the watch, yes. I do have the watch, of course.
Yeah. Then one of the things that we talked about and I really liked is that giving the fact that you're into the market, so you're a lot around, so your dad's business or whoever, it's here in Kuwait City, right?
Yeah.
So you end up being in these markets, let's say the secondary market and such before. Have you experienced secondary market before the retail and such?
We were actually experiencing the secondary market before. We actually never went to the dealers because in those days secondary market was more cheaper compared. Let's be honest, it was more cheaper compared to the dealers.
Yeah. You would make a nice saving
buying. Sure.
Yeah.
And the first watch we bought from the secondary market was a submarine. And the day we bought submarine, we had seen times where like submarine was, or any other sports watch was not considered a Rolex. You need to have the bling day date, or the Datejust with two-tone.
Okay.
If you're wearing this, you're wearing a Rolex.
Okay.
Otherwise, it used to be more like, especially in India, there was very less recognition for sports watches, especially submarines and Yachtmaster.
So if you made it, it would be a day date, a full gold. If you're midway.
Yeah, but those days, the prices of the watches were way cheaper.
But you remember what made your dad and you buy the watch? Like, is it a love for the watches? Was it a success thing? So you felt like I want to treat
No,
myself?
it's like a love for the watch. We kind of loved wearing watches, and we fell into this slowly, going on the displays, checking them out. And usually, I actually provoked my father to get into the watches.
So you're the cause.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how we went, and we started with the first watch, Submarine. We bought it in Muthanna. Used to be a small shop over there, and we started with Submarine. Then we started slowly with the other watches. And those days, the watches were not like how they are right now. They were not very expensive. You can buy it for $950, $1,000, $1,500.
Submarine. Yeah.
And even if you go for the Daytona, maximum you'd pay like $2,500.
Yeah.
So even until today, whatever I have, it's after only now, after a few years back, I started going to the dealers and realized that now things have changed. Things are more expensive outside, and it's cheaper with the dealers.
Like what? Like, remember we talked about the Rolexes. I know Submariners used to be cheaper outside. Yeah. You would save like 400.
Even Pateks. Pateks used to be very cheap. Those days, when I used to study, I think the only website which used to be there was, I think, Kuwait Limited. I think you must be. I don't know if you're aware.
I remember Kuwait Limited.
Yeah.
But
the
Kareem,
only website.
He would never change it. Don't update it. Don't do anything to it.
Yeah.
I remember.
It's just lying.
Yeah.
And I just emailed Mr. Kareem.
Yeah.
I don't know if he knows me.
Yeah.
But I just emailed him randomly. And for what? 5711. Selling for 5,000 at this time. Blue.
Okay.
And come on, this was just like I used to study. It was just like you want to know the price, but you know inside you're a student. You're not going to buy it right now.
Yeah.
There's no chance you're going to tell your father that you want to buy a watch for 5,000. It's not going to happen.
Back then, even I think now it changed in a way that now you can convince someone of an investment kind of, or the money is there. But back then, when you buy it for 5,000, people think about it, it's gone. This is a luxury. I bought it, and that's all.
I think even watch collecting, in total, I think it's more like a hobby.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, people, some take it as an investment, but it's not totally an investment. I think it's more, for me personally, I consider it as a hobby, because if you're actually buying, if you're buying a watch, it's because you like the watch, not because there's some gain to it. Because there have been times where people just buy the watch saying that, okay, this is the so and so value for the watch, but then you don't wear the watch because you don't like it. The inner feeling doesn't come.
Yeah.
So unless you don't have that inner feeling for the watch, you don't buy it.
Do you remember a watch that you went for a long period of time researching, checking, going right and left until you get it? Because that is difference between back then and now. Back then you can enjoy yourself of researching, going to a retailer.
No, there was no
waiting.
There was no access to Google. There was absolutely, like, if you type watches back then, there's nothing.
Okay.
I mean, there is no information. Like now, you have social media, you have Instagram, you have influencers, you have so many things. Back then, there was nothing. There was just when you say watches, there's only one website which opens. That's Kuwait Limited.
That's all.
There's nothing more. There's no eBay. There is no Chrono 24.
So you don't check anything.
You don't check anything. You don't even know the prices. Only if you go to the secondary market, they tell you this is the watch price. But then you don't have this idea it's going to go up. There was no one used to back then. This situation was never there. Checking the prices, the price was going high or low, or the prices were such. If you're going to spend 20,000, you'll probably get more than 21, 22 watches with.
Yeah, back then it's different. It's different. Yes.
Now, maximum 3. Nothing more than 3.
Do you remember who used to share this hobby with you back then?
Back then, it was just myself. It was more like It used to be more like people never understood this as a hobby. It was more like a lot of people which I used to talk to, especially in India, used to consider this as like, this is a waste of money. Why would someone buy a watch for such an amount of money, and you know they never understood that there was no only after there was social media, there were influencers, there were people talking about watches. People understood, okay, this is the speciality of the watch. This watch, so and so watch has this function. This is what you call chronograph.
Yeah.
This is what you call annual calendar. Nothing was there. You're just going there. When you go to the gray before, you see, okay, there's a watch. It shows date, it shows time, it shows month, and it has a moon phase also. Wow, that's this is how it was. It's a vintage. I'm especially into vintage. I'm a vintage watch lover. So for me, even the Rolexes, I love the vintage Rolex more. I mean, come on. I'm not saying the new ones are not that great, but I think the vintage Rolex is much more appealing to me. I mean, it's a personal choice. I wouldn't say
you wouldn't mind if you have the previous Daytonas and you hold the new ones. There's a difference in weight. There's a difference in quality.
But the nice part which I enjoy about the vintage, I'll be very honest about the vintage, is that when you have the Pepsi, the best part I like about the watch is you can change the bezel. You can put the Coke.
You can do enjoy it at home?
I do it.
You pop it up like this,
and that's up. You put a Coke.
Yeah.
Now I've heard that they also have the older blueberry bezels, also the blue ones.
Yeah.
Full blue. I mean, end of the day, if you're enjoying the watch, there's no harm in changing and wearing the watch.
Exactly, and you're not thinking about changing or selling.
Now, if you want a GMT, you need to buy the black, the Pepsi, the Sprite. You need to buy it separately.
Yeah.
Even for the submarine, if you want to wear it with black, wear it with black. You want to change it to green, put the green one.
No, lots of people don't like to do that. They feel that.
I like it personally. I like because see, for me, as I told you, it's a hobby. It's your personal preference. People, it depends on person to person. Some people say it devalues the watch. Some people say we don't like it. Some people say, why would you do this? But I personally don't.
It used to happen a lot. A lot of people used to go. Rolex used to do it for you. If you go to Rolex, tell them, I don't like this dial. Order me another dial. You pay 400 KD, and they switch it for you. Now it's very strict, and people don't.
No, now if you want to buy a Kermit, and you need to buy two watches.
Oh yeah, you cannot buy.
You cannot switch bezels. With this, you can enjoy both, and it's very easy to switch.
Yeah. And through one of the fun stories we always talk about, and you had it once here when you visited us, is the Royal Oak Tantalum.
Yes.
So tell us the story, because you used to go around. There's no knowledge about the price or values of watches.
This was a time where it was more like a watch which is to be remembered for myself. Is it was a watch where me and my father are having a discussion outside the grey market dealer, whether to buy it or not to buy it. And it's kind of like the guy is laughing as to, we're just having a hot discussion between each other.
Okay.
He's saying you don't need to buy it. I'm saying we need to buy this. Okay. So no one back then knew what's tantalum, what's the watch, the Royal Oak, or the Nautilus, or the other models, whichever the hot pieces may be. These watches were lying on the windows. People didn't even give so much of importance until the time came when the prices, the social media turned up. They showed how the prices are going to go high, and how that's how it became famous. Any other watch, you can say, even if you go for the complication for, let's say, Langa or Patek, so many brands people don't know.
Yeah.
There are so many brands people don't know, even the independent brands, which turned up now. Like if you would ask someone, Chapek, they don't know what's a Chapek. What Chapek's related to Patek.
Yeah, the founder.
The history with Patek.
Yeah. Now social media changed all of that.
Yeah.
So social media was a huge push, and even if there is a negative side of being it got crazy, the hype, the prices, but knowledge is there.
Yes.
Now people know independent. Now people understand what a Zenith is.
Every information is now accessible. Before it was only the books.
Yeah.
So only certain books which you read, or if you have a specialized person who, with horology knowledge, you'd sit with him for probably a half an hour, and he will tell you why is this watch, what's special about this watch. Now it's just you have YouTube.
Yeah,
if you want to learn how to operate a watch, you just on YouTube, and there you go. You have everything.
You got everything.
You got everything.
Let's go back to the Royal Oak. So you were discussing with your dad.
Yeah.
It's a tantalum, which is a metal rarely used.
Rarely used. It's a metal rarely used, and we had this discussion even with at the Roman Gautier event.
Yeah.
And he told me that it's a very, very, very finicky metal to mold.
True.
And
That's
it's
why
not
they
easy
didn't use it much.
for a company to make a watch in tantalum. It's difficult.
Yeah.
And this watch was bought by us in those days for 950.
950 KD. And it's a limited.
It's a limited to 500 piece. It's a championship, and it's a tantalum.
Yeah. It's funny.
Yeah. So it was not with a motive. I told you, nothing is with a motive. It just...
You still have the watch, even with the hype, with the bubble and everything happened. You still have the watch.
I still have the watch.
Yeah.
And those days, size 36, 33 was a man size. It used to be a man size.
Yeah, when you wear it, yeah.
Now, it's become more like, if you have a 33, it's for ladies. I wouldn't wear it. Oh, people think, why is he wearing a 33 or a 36?
Yeah,
it's
you're
not
wearing
for man.
your wife's watch.
Yeah. Now it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Back then, 36 was the ideal size for men. 33 also. Even if you go to the vintage watches, let's say Bemin Mercier or Universal Genève or Gale or Lamania or Menorva, they were all small sizes.
All small ones.
33, 34, 35.
Sure. Jumbo used to be 36.
Yeah.
Royal Oak Jumbo 36.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. All of them were these sizes. Now it's become like the size has become a big deal, where if you're wearing a 42 or 40, they consider as...
No, but you notice they're going back to small sizes.
Yeah, they are going, yes.
Yeah.
I noticed
so
this.
There was a phase of let's do Hublot, let's do Panerai 47, and then Panerai said, okay, 47, everyone can wear it. Yeah. They're doing smaller and smaller. Now companies, we notice 37, 38, 39. So it's becoming the norm, which is
small sizes. To me, I have watch sizes from 33 to 42. I don't have any problem with sizes. I mean, some people do. I mean, it's again a preference for a person to person. For me, I'm fine with even 34, 33. Of course, 32 is small, but 33, I'm fine with 33.
So how do you go now about buying watches? You do it with research and a long thinking, or you're trying to collect a certain collection?
I actually do research also. At the same time, I also go to the boutiques. I also see the watches in person. And then I decide if I should go ahead with this particular piece or no. And now, because I like to collect the first family, I recently bought a regulator from the Patek Boutique, which is one of my favorite watches.
Yeah, and we have it here, and we'll take a photo of it. But what did you mean by family? Buying from a family business? You mean like
no. I mean by this is the first. This is the second watch after they launched the 5235G. This is the second one.
Yes.
So this is kind of a new family for the regulator family.
When they introduced it.
When they introduced this.
Yes.
The other pieces, when you go to the perpetual calendar or the annual calendar, they have so many. They have so many.
Yes. I mean, even history-wise, that's a very long history.
A long history.
This one.
This just started.
Yeah. So so to understand you correctly, you would say the same about the weekly calendar Calatrava. It's a totally new family.
It's a new family.
The first weekly.
Even the pilot.
Yeah. And you have a pilot, I think.
I do have a pilot.
Yeah.
So this is also a new watch. This is a new family. It's a new...
That's a new model that will go on, yeah.
So this is, I think, more nice to have in your collection. Secondly, if you're a person who's a lover of IWC, you do have this as an option. You get dual time at the same time. I mean, come on, it's white gold Patek. You're never wrong with.
Yeah, of course. You're saying I get a Patek because I like the IWC. So you're paying the price for Patek because you like the pilot.
Yeah. No, they never had something like a pilot's watch. Patek never had something like a pilot's watch before.
I think
this looks more like a pilot watch. It's big. It's big.
They have one in the museum, but they never produced pilot watches. Like one off or two off. People say, yeah, there's no history for Patek to be in the pilot business, let's say. And this watch specifically got a lot of criticism. Actually, Jassim last episode he said that. Yes. He said that the pilot got a lot of people didn't like it in the beginning. They made fun, but they were successful with it. Yes. Then they brought smaller sizes and they did the ladies and such. Yes. Nice. And this honestly, this specific watches I love. This watch. The color, the first one was white gold. The
first one was white gold, and now this is in rose gold.
Yeah, rose gold.
The best part about the watch is it has a graphite dial, gray dial. You know, when you look at the dial like this, it shows you it's black. And when you turn it like this, it's gray. And I like the feel of the watch. It's 40. It's a new generation dress watch, 40 millimeter. So now, as for me, to have a different category of watches and different sizes, I never had anything in 40. So I said, let's try this out.
Why not?
Something.
What do you like from Patek also? Because you said you have a pilot.
I have a pilot. I have a Calatrava. I have this 6119.
6119. Okay. We'll have to Google it to know.
Yeah. The new, the one with the manual wind.
Oh, the new movement with the white gold
not the white gold, the rose gold.
Nice.
With the new movement.
Beautiful. I know this one. It's really nice.
And then I have the regulator. I have the pilot. I have the Aquanaut. And now I'm going slowly into the annual calendar and the perpetual and
perpetual chrono would be an amazing 5.7.
But they are more than I'm telling you, they're more than Aquanaut and not less. Believe me. The complication watches, what they make,
they're exceptional. They're exceptional. Yeah. No, like there is a reason why Patek is Patek, and these complicated watches is what's like even if I'm not gonna say it in front of your face, but I prefer people sitting with me and talking about a regulator, talking about the annual calendar, even if they're less hot pieces, like you can get them less easier than the others. But that shows a whole collector of like having a collection, diversifying. So if you have the option of buying other watches or Patek, you will always go Patek?
No, if I have other watches, means except for Patek, you mean?
Yeah. So if I give you, we have either get a Patek or the Omega that you're wearing.
No, they're two separate. You can't compare. This one has a separate vibe of wearing it, and this is more sporty.
Yeah.
And this is, you can't compare the both.
But which one would you go for? So you have a 10,000 KD, this or a Patek?
That depends on which model. Again.
Which model, what fits in the collection?
I mean, it depends. I mean, see, for Patek, for 10, you would get very few models with the complication.
Yeah, true.
Because their complication starts with, I think, 14 or 15?
14 maybe.
14, 14. Like this. And for Omega, the top end is for 10. Finished.
Yeah, so it's a different
level.
So why did he go with this? Because I love this watch, mashallah.
This is Apollo 11 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
And this is a re-edition to the older...
it's an exact re-edition. The one I think they gave to astronauts and such, if I'm not mistaken. Yes.
They made 1,014 pieces. And which makes it more special. And I love the feel of the watch. It's so good.
So gold and
it's gold.
I love the details they went into, like the indexes, how they're onyx. Onyx, I think indexes, right?
It's onyx. I think at the back, if you see, they have they show the moon. I don't know how true this is. Someone told me this is a piece of the moon.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how true it is. And then you have the world time. The world map.
There is. Okay, I will have to check it. Yeah.
So these are this is how the watch looks, and even the movement from back, it looks really nice.
No, beautiful. Don't you think that Omega sometimes overdo their editions, or?
I don't think they do too many re-editions. Do they? Is it? What do you think?
Not re-editions, doing limited editions.
Yes, they do.
So you get confused with lots of Speedmasters.
Yes, I agree with what you're saying, that they are now getting into too much of re-edition. They have done too much with Snoopy. They've done too much with other watches also. I think they should now make it like, exclusive and, something different.
They talking about exclusive, and Ali, or sorry, the two Ali we have. Sorry, I'm jumping around, but hopefully the one they did with the gem set. You've seen the gem set they did.
The new gem set.
Yeah, the ruby, great. How more exclusive would you be?
I know. This gives you a vibe of the Daytona. I don't know.
Really?
I mean, doesn't it give you the feel of the similarity between the
rainbow? Yes.
Yeah, rainbow.
But there is a guy which I really respect, a huge collector from Britain, and horology ancien. Of course, you know him. He has both, and he has, mashallah, both of everything, and he has the Daytona and the Daytona. Let's say the Daytona Rainbow and the Rainbow from Omega.
Okay.
And he, with all honesty, says the Omega is better. The gradient of the colors, the gem setting, the sizes of it compared to the Omega. Compared to the Daytona. But again, going back to exclusive, I really respect Omega for, like, it's really hard to spend 46,000 KD on an Omega.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's the whole part where people kind of start thinking. Like earlier back, before like a few weeks, I was in Beauvais. I was in Beauvais in
Bahbahani Jihad.
Yeah. And I'd seen a couple of Beauvais, and they showed me a Beauvais which was 78,500.
A tourbillon,
Tourbillon. Okay, everything is fine, but I have a question again. Would one spend 78,500 on a Beauvais? That's a question mark again at the same time.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people told me, if I want to spend that much, I'd go for a Richard Mille, or I'd go for Patek split second. I have many options with such a price. I have many options.
Perpetual calendar,
chronograph, perpetual calendar,
so many different things,
and many other things.
But there are these collectors that, mashallah, has everything. So they would something from Beauvais would look very unique.
Yes.
And these people that I like to talk to, these people I would like to pick their minds and ask them why they got it and what like tricked them into getting.
Beauvais is an amazing watch. They've done very good with, especially, you get the feel of the pocket watch. And the design.
The thickness is amazing.
The thickness.
They do very nice thickness, very pure.
The
double
case back. You see the finishing. I love the watch. But it's again a taste. For me, I don't mind wearing a Beauvais. I don't mind a Lange. For me, I like it, I take it.
What's the next one then? What's the next watch you're thinking?
I'm looking. I'm still learning for Lange and so on.
Okay, you have one or not yet?
I don't have one. I'm looking into it.
Which ones do you like? Do you prefer the Lange one?
I'm seeing the datograph. I'm looking at the datograph. I've seen the datograph with holding it in my hand, and I've seen the back. Oh,
it's beautiful. Yeah.
You'd see the bridges connecting. You would really wonder as to how the watchmaker actually made this timepiece. Because it's connected in such a way. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
It's very artistic.
True. Now then you have to they have the double split. One is like you have a universe inside, all the layers and everything. Yeah.
So for me, I think next, whenever I study properly about the Lange, I think it's gonna be the datograph, or probably the Lange one.
Lange one, it's a good start. Yeah, it's a good start. If you get like white gold or something with nice. Yeah. What else? What other brand that really on your radar that you're liking?
I love the GLC, the Reverso. especially the tribute. I think I guess yesterday we had a whole reverso.
Yeah,
we had everyone wearing reverso.
Yeah,
Everyone
Yeah.
in the watch club. Everyone was reverso.
That's honestly one of the best things that what happened with the hype. People, I hate to say that, but people couldn't get many watches. So they're looking into new options. And Reverso's amazing history, amazing
Even the
brand, good
perpetual.
quality.
Even the perpetual calendar, the model which they call the Doctor Strange. Did they call it the Doctor
the one,
Strange?
yeah, because
Steel, the one in steel.
It's beautiful, yes.
Very
The steel black dye. Ali has one. Ali has the perpetual. No, they just opened the boutique. This is the paid advertisement for Bahrain. They just opened the boutique in Salhiyya. And honestly, it's very nice.
Even the Polaris. Nice
Polaris.
watches. What do you think about the Polaris?
It's not one of the issues, I think, with, not my opinion that matters, but Jajar Lakut, the problem with them, some watches, they don't have their personality into it.
No.
So if
what
you
about the
remove-
vintage? What about the vintage Polaris? The ones they have.
The vintage, the Movox, the movements, these are very cool. But if you take the new annual master controller and such, you feel if you remove JJ Lakut and put anything else, it would be the same. If I remove GLC and put Zenith,
Well, I
would be
think
a Zenith.
maximum collectors. When you talk GLC, reverso.
It's reverso. No,
The
not
other, nothing comes else to their mind.
No, you know what comes to my mind? Gyro tourbillons. The tourbillons they do is crazy. Like they think about crazy stuff, and the highly complicated watch. I think about them, but you cannot never afford them. Like you just check
they have prices like 100,000, 80,000.
The reverso they did is amazing. The 4 faces. So you have 4 different complicated. It's crazy.
It was nice to see them do the reverso. Usually they used to do engraving.
Yeah.
And now they do the enamel for
the case
for the platinum and the rose gold.
Yeah.
So good.
No, they're moving.
Amazing.
They're improving. They're doing many things, and that's good for the collectors. For people who like watches, they can go into it.
And then I think Blanpa. What do you think about the Blanpa?
So who's interviewing who now? We have to double check that.
Yeah.
Blanpa, honestly, I want to answer, and thank you for answering, because I want you to answer that. One of the things, like, we rarely talk about other brands. Blanpa, and I'm going to take this opportunity to talk about other brands that people don't talk about. Blanpa is amazing when it comes to diver, but Swatch Group does not do, like, they rarely do any marketing. They don't really, like, you don't even feel they're here in Kuwait. Like, they don't reach you on social media. They don't, in Switzerland.
Even the 50 Fathom, the Hodinki Limited, or the No Radiation, or the Barracuda.
These are the very
the
hot
ones which
40 mm.
40 mm, which people actually love. We don't even see this.
No, they get it
I've
here.
not seen
I know
too many collectors.
MashaAllah, you know Abdullah, MashaAllah, owns, without mentioning his last name, one of the Time Keeper group. He owns all 4 or 3, and he's killing to get the but these collectors are very rare in Kuwait.
Yeah,
and I love to sit with them. And he loves 50 Fathom, and he's trying to get the new. They did this year is their anniversary. They did a watch.
I'm not against those people, but I have seen so many people just have a whole box of just one company.
Yeah,
and it feels like this is more like, come on, you have too many other brands to go for. You have to.
So you would go for like a nice.
You have to have different kinds of. You need to have vintage. You need to have new. You need to have this brand. You need to have many brands, because I'll tell you, end of the day, every watch has their own characteristics. They have their own design. They have their own feel. You cannot stick to just one brand. Say, I'm just gonna go with this. Then it becomes more like there's something to it,
Some people, like if you talk to someone, like if we sit and let's say, for example, that I specialize in submariners. So this Ali, if you have any question about submariners, you go to Ali. He knows the references, he knows the years, he knows like that. I appreciate that sometimes. I like a person who comes and say, I'm an expert in Glashutta. Yeah, I know Glashutta, how it happened in the World War, how they split and what they do. I like that.
I do have one of the Glashut from the World War. I think you've seen one of those. It's
The
called Made in
Fliegers?
GDR. It's the World War II.
You have
It's
one
from
of the
World-
watches.
Yes.
Oh,
It's from the
mashallah.
World War II.
Yeah, when they
Says
combined
made
all
in
the
GDR,
companies. Yeah,
German Democratic Republic.
yeah. That's when they combined all the manufacture to do. So you have Lange, Glashütte, Laco. You have all of these producing watches. Yeah.
And every vintage watch, why I like vintage is because they have some history connected to some event or there's something with it.
Yeah.
There's something.
That's why you got Iran from us. Iran.
Iran has a history. It's a re-edition. Even if you're talking about the current what's it called? The Excelsior Park.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
This also is a re-edition of the old. There are lots of watches which are reintroduced in the market.
And mashallah, Ali, you mentioned names. Lots of people, when you talked about the vintage Lemania, Minerva,
Yes.
these watches, they're dead right now. Universal Genève.
So even Universal Genève. Lots of watches like the compacts, bicompacts, the triple compacts.
You've been speaking to
Polarotter
Muhammad a lot.
So, no, even me and Muhammad only speak
But Universal.
only UG, Universal Genève.
Yeah.
Because he's a big fan and I'm a big fan too for vintage. We just sit, the whole time we're just discussing this, or we're discussing something like lapis dial or something related to a special dial which was there in the past, which we need to see online if it's available.
Yeah. But do you think that companies that, if you pretend for the next 10 years, do you believe some companies who exist now won't exist in 10 years? That
depends on how they are going. Now in the current situation, marketing plays a major role in your business, be it what. So many companies I know which are not doing this. They just think we are a brand and we're just gonna people know us and we're gonna do it. No, you need to market it.
Blampa is a big example.
Shoot. They
Which
don't
is
have
what,
any.
Breguet.
Where is Breguet? Breguet is a brand which is considered as the most historic classic watch.
Yeah.
If you are a true lover of the classic, the Breguet is for you. Especially you see the watch, the traditional.
Yeah.
The one with the
Guilloche
dial and the skeleton inside. Wow. This is the watch to own. And even talking about Breguet, even when you go to the older history, and I don't know if you've been to there's a palace in France. You go to the palace, all the watches from the kings, everything is Breguet.
Breguet is French.
Breguet, everything.
Yeah, I know.
The wall clock is Breguet.
If you do the history of Breguet, and again, if you go back
Palace of Versailles. Palace of Versailles.
Yeah.
When you go, they have an architecture. And then when you see the watch, it's all Breguet. Even this is Breguet. You see the table clock, it's Breguet. You see this is Breguet. Everything is Breguet.
Nice.
This was really, for me as a watch person, when you just visit, I just noticed all this. Wow, this is Breguet.
Yeah. No, Breguet is amazing when it comes to history. He created many things that other brands still use. The guilloche, you know why he created the guilloche dial? So it doesn't break.
The guilloche dial?
Guilloche dial. So
but I think it's handmade.
It's handmade, but previously they would use enamel. It eventually would crack with time. So guilloche was a way of making it rough surface that is less. It's easier. It's harder to scratch. It's harder to crack. So he created the guilloche. Almost every escapement we have now in a watch, I'm not gonna go into very technical. It has an overcoil Breguet escapement. I mean the hairspring.
Where is it? But we don't see too many people wear it still in Kuwait. It's
you see,
lots of brands. I mean, over a period, that's what collectors think. That's so many brands. Like, why is Lamania, Minoro? Why are they just now considered as people who just used to make movements? Because they're no more. Even so, I don't know some brands. I don't know what's gonna happen with them.
It's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell.
It's hard to. But sorry, I'm jumping from one thing to another.
لا,
So فعلي, if you have something, let me know.
We should talk about the keyboard. We should talk about the iron.
أيوة, advertise for time.
Even as a Type 20. I think people now need to learn a lot of things in watches also. There is a lot to learn beyond a few models, a few brands. There's more beyond this. They're just stuck with particular. No, خلاص. يعني this is the watch and finished. There's nothing beyond this. They need to. You have Navi timer.
Yeah.
You have lots of other Type 20 watches. You have even the Breguet. Type 20
was the first guy.
Yeah.
Like Type 20, if you go very, very quick history about Type 20 is French army. I need a watch with this is specific specifications.
Yeah.
Size 38, chronograph like back. I want it to be numerals, loomed, very easy to read. Subdial, very easy to read.
The Iran.
It's exactly
when
the
I
same.
posted the picture, not a single person liked it. I said, what's happening? And
you
then
post an
I had to tell them, I said, please go Google what's Type 20.
Yeah.
And then after the second time I posted, they're like, okay. I said,
There's
okay, now people know what's a Type 20.
You know, that's an issue and a good thing. People like, and unfortunately, this is what sometimes saddens me, is that if you buy a watch and you don't get the satisfaction from other people appreciating it, and actually some people will tell, are you crazy? Why did you buy an Hublot?
This is happening.
It's a beautiful watch. This is what I like. It's a good watch.
We have Mr. Ahmed, who is the brand ambassador.
Oh, he's an ambassador now.
Oh, I love his watch. The Unico 42.
Yeah, 42, yeah.
I think it's the only watch which they make with in-house movement.
It's it is the first chrono. Yeah. No, Hublot gets lots of bad. I don't want to say bad words, but like I'm not sure why. Like
mostly you hear unsatisfied comments from people. Say, no, you should not buy Hublot. Why? The question is why. First,
they make. I will answer you, and you tell. They make too many limited editions.
Is it? No.
Audemars does a lot more.
Audemars does a lot more.
Yeah.
I think if you see their history, you'd find offshores only running on limited editions. No, I mean it's not. I'm just talking reality. There are
no. Right. There is. I think a guy told me once that he tried to count the editions of Royal Oak Offshore.
There are more.
It's like 120 editions.
Yeah. And I'm sure Hublot is not 120. It's
Hublot, they give them bad because of they're everywhere. They invest into.
But I think Hublot is again a brand. If you're done with the top 3,
you enjoy.
You need to go to Hublot now, because I think now you are finished with. You need to move on to other brands, also.
What are the top 3 to you?
The top 3, you know the top 3. You have the Rolex, you have the Patek, you have the AP.
Okay, let's do it to 5. What would you add?
I think you have Vacheron, you have Lange. For me, I don't know. Other people may like it, may not like it. I don't know. I love the Lange, I love the Vacheron, I love the Cartier.
Cartier?
For me personally, I have no problem wearing Cartier or any other brand. I mean, it's a personal choice.
Yeah. This what I really wish people would.
It's a taste.
Buy,
like you, some people like a certain watch. Some people say we don't like it. But for me, as a watch person who loves almost every kind, every size of watch, for me it's fine to go for any good brand which I like. I love wearing different kinds of brands, different watches, enjoying them, having a research about them, to see the movement, to learn about certain watches, everything.
You enjoy.
Yeah.
Why didn't you get into independence?
Independence? Well, I have not tried any, but I want to go. I think I will be going to independence someday. I really want to get into Chapek. I really want to get into the Ludovic. The
Oh, yeah, the crazy
Yeah.
ones. Yeah.
that's another watch.
It's,
And then I also
you mean, sorry, Ludovic?
Ludovic.
I
Ludovic.
heard Orwick. Yes,
No,
yes.
no, no.
Ludovic is
Ludovic.
crazy. Yeah. You liked it a lot, huh?
Yes, I love the watch. And then there are many other watches which you need to go into, which we don't see in Kuwait with many collectors. You don't see the Lauren Fair. You don't see the Chapek. Chapek, it was really disturbing to see not a single person wear a Chapek Antarctic in the whole of Kuwait. This was really disturbing for me. I've not seen a single person
Let
wear
me
this.
think. Yeah, I don't think.
No one. Seriously, no one. And Antarctic is a very nice watch.
Parmigiani is getting
Parmigiani is getting, even Parmigiani. But Parmigiani is still getting recognition. Slowly, people are
No, it
going
was
for
crazy.
Parmigiani.
Went crazy
Yeah.
from 0 to 9. Yeah, like, I still remember from time to time I go to Awqaf. I walk around, enter like stores and such, and you would see a white gold annual calendar from Parmigiani for like 1,200, 1,300.
You're talking at the moment, currently?
3 years ago, 4
3
years
years.
ago. Yeah. And Parmigiani used to be
You're talking leather strap.
Yeah,
or
leather
steel.
strap. No, yeah,
leather strap. I know the leather
these-
strap because I had seen a couple of few selling for 1,300, 1,400,
these-
a full set.
full sets, and they retail for much higher than
Yes,
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's happening the same with other brands, even Chopard. The LUC, I don't know if you know the LUC.
Oh, of course, I love it.
It's, if someone tells me Chopard, I would say try the LUC. You should give it a try. You should go for the hand-painted dials they make. They also make the micro rotor
Beautiful.
movements. The
They have-
white gold.
They
rose
have
gold.
one sector dial. They have the Geneva seal, the Meta. The Omega. There's I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm not French, but the Quality Ferrier or something like that. Specifically, and they put it on the dial. It's like a very high-end testing. And they give it to very few, because the testing doesn't only cover the accuracy of the watch and how much it loses time. No, also the finishing. So they judge the finishing, wearing the watch, testing it. It's a beautiful watch. It's like around 4,000 or something. It was in Avenues.
No, even for Chopard. It's the same thing, like Parmigiani. You go to the Grey, you find it for 1,250.
Go to Abbas.
You're actually heartbroken to see that. Why would someone sell this watch for such a low price?
Yeah.
It's white gold, or let's say it's yellow gold. It's micro rotor. It's the same. It has the same. The look of other luxury brands. Why would someone sell it for so low? But I don't know. It's maybe because of the people don't like it, or possibly because of the demand.
Yeah, it's definitely demand. Definitely demand.
Yes.
So Ali, the last question I have for you, unless you have something to add.
No. Go ahead.
We met through Kuwait Watch Club.
Yes.
How did you join the club? Who did you speak to? Like, why did you decide to join?
How did I start on Instagram? Let's start from how did I start from Instagram?
Yes.
I was having a personal account, which I just deactivated the account. I spoke to the two people I still remember. One of them was Mr. Ahmed. Mr. Ahmed.
Husseini?
Husseini. Yes.
Husseini, yes, yeah.
And the other guy was, I think, Hussein Kabandi.
Yeah.
The watchaholic.
Yeah.
The guy who enjoys the Nautilus even while wearing sports
Yeah.
to the max.
Yeah.
These are the two people I used to talk with. And then slowly, I came across an ad introducing Kuwait Watch Club. And I was like, I was waiting for this day. Because I used to see lots of watch clubs within India, within other regions. And we never had any in Kuwait.
Yeah.
Come on. We had so many collectors. We had so many people. We have everything. Why not? And I was waiting for this moment. And that's the time when I just messaged Abu Ahmed.
Abu Ahmed?
Abu Ahmed, Mr. Aziz.
Aziz? Abu Ahmed?
Hey, Abu Ahmed.
Yeah,
Aziz
Abu Ahmed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And he goes like, yeah, you are welcome. I didn't expect. I told him. I said, look, I'm not a Kuwaiti. I'm not an Arab. Is it fine? Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Why not? We need collectors. We don't need nationals.
True.
I said that's perfect.
Yeah.
And that's how I started with Abu Ahmed. And then I had my I can't call him someone who's translating, is Faisal Casey.
Faisal Casey, yeah.
I mean,
why does he translate from English to or from Hindi?
Some of the words, some of the conversations are so deep.
Yeah.
In Arabic, some are easy to understand.
You can speak Arabic, but you can understand Arabic.
Yes, but I mean there are some which are very
they get passionate and fast.
Oh,
and fast.
Yeah,
you
fast
get
and
lost.
fast. I just copy paste. What's this guy trying to say? So this is how it happened, and then slowly, this was the journey how it started.
Nice. And honestly, we're very happy to have you.
Very happy.
I'm very happy to have you here in Timekeeper. And honestly, we rarely do things in English, and we focus on the Arabic. Yes. But I'm very glad to have you, Ali. I'm very happy to meet you guys. I'm very happy to meet even other things, because some people think like watch collecting, the hobby is for certain people, for certain things. It's for everyone. Either you have one Seiko or you have a couple of Pateks like yourself.
It depends on a person's. I want to tell this specifically to people. You need to have a set budget. Firstly, as to what you want to buy. Second, be it a Seiko or be it a Richard Mille. Collecting is collecting.
Yeah.
Secondly, it's upon a person's pocket. You cannot compare both of them because it's wrong. In my opinion, it's wrong. This guy collects a certain watch because he has a deep pocket. You know what I mean by deep pocket?
Yeah, of course I know.
And this guy, he's just.
And both of them love watches
person.
to the.
For me, I respect. I have respect for both of them.
Exactly, for us
be
too.
It Seiko, Citizen, or whichever. It's collecting. End of the day.
Yeah, true.
So it's the same. It's all the same.
I agree 100%. Thank you very much, Ali.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate it, and thanks for your time.
Pleasure is all mine.